love
Who
that.
are these people? They are
Oh.
awful and horrifying, and I love them.
Well, we'll tell you.
Program the computer. We create a mental atmosphere.
Fear not, my friends. This will be my greatest performance.
Give it to me.
Here we go. We came, we saw, we kicked
Oh, watch your language. It is the start of season 16 for Mornings on the Beach today. It's our anniversary.
Happy
We start a
anniversary!
new year of show. We're doing
Wow.
this 16 years. Before we get too far ahead, my name is Danny Lemos. Welcome to Mornings on the Beach. And the freaks come out at night, but sometimes on the weekends, because here Radio's Film Freak is with us. Leo Quinones is going to join us in studio right here and over there.
Also, this is Mike Stark, and no more free baggage on airlines. I got to report that.
I'm Melanie Ray, and I'm going to Harvard. You can too.
Whoa, really? Okay, that's all coming up. Stay right here. You'll find out all about that. In the meantime, like I said, we've been doing this for a long time. Different iterations of the show, but for the last 15 years, Mornings on the Beach has been on the radio station in Long Beach. Several different ones, but
Right.
here we are on KLBP Long Beach Public Radio. And as I said earlier, we have an in-studio guest with us, Leo Quinones. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, man. I've got the invite for the past 15 years. I'm so sorry. I'm here now for fun.
Yeah, I love it. I love
We're hard
it.
to find.
So we, believe it or not, share a radio history together. And I thought it'd be fun to tell our different recollections of how we met.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I remember that it was at a weekend warm-up, I think, where I first saw you. Mm-hmm. And you at the time were a cocktail bar.
Yeah.
You were a waiter.
TJ Friday's bartender.
There you go. Mm-hmm. And of course, Kiss FM, Rick Dees used to take tours with all the listeners. And Leo came along, which we found out later with some ulterior motives. And at that time, the movie Cocktail was out. And so Tom Cruise was throwing the cocktail shaker all over, and Leo had practiced the moves. Mm-hmm. And of course, you got Rick's attention. And from that moment on, he just sort of asked if he could be a part of the team. And for a while there, you were an unpaid part of the team, but nonetheless, you worked your way onto the staff. And
I remember, Leo, you've been working here 9 months. Hey, we're going to take care of $25 of your gas.
Oh, boy.
I thought, boy, I made it.
we had one volunteer, Lon Whalen, who wrote for the show for an entire year and a half before I finally had to say, we got to pay this guy.
Right.
He shows up every week and helps us write. And he was the funniest writer, so it worked out really well. But we met back there in the Kiss FM days, in the 80s, early 80s, right?
You know what? That would be your story. But
See, I told you.
here's what really happened. The truth. Rick Dees had a Puerto Vallarta trip, and I went on that trip as a bartender at TJ Fridays. I said, let's work 6 extra shifts. Let's cover the money. Let's go, Mike, you and me. And that is where I met you.
Yeah.
And because I noticed that he was a head writer along with being Chewy from La Puente, and he was writing stuff down. And I told him a joke, and this is a joke. I've said, hey, you know what? I don't mind these cockroaches in Puerto Vallarta, but they're a little bit big. Last night, one crawled in my bed and kicked his leg over me.
The funny part was the hotel was kind of like that. So we really worked. And the next thing you know, right?
Yeah, you handed it to Rick. Rick said it as one of his characters, Willard Wiseman, on the air. It was a home run. Rick looked at me and did a thumbs up.
I remember.
And I just said, let's just make ourselves scarce, Mike. Let's go scuba diving. He goes, we don't have to go scuba diving. He goes, we don't have to go. I go, let's go. Just wanted to make ourselves scarce.
Yeah, that was smart.
Yeah, and then on the last day, you presented me with your card, and it was, I looked at it, I'll never forget it, Weekly Top 40, the head writer, Danny Lemos. And you said, you want to start an internship, and that's where it started.
Yeah, that meant no pay.
Yeah.
It was all worth it.
It was, wasn't it, though? I'm telling you, perseverance.
You know,
paid off for you.
Young people today, they ask me, Leo, how do I get a full-time job at KLSX? And I'm like, how do you get a full-time job at KLSX? Well, you have to intern and pay your dues. And that's what I have to to say to young people today,
Right.
you have to give it up some part of your life to get into the good echelons of where you want to go.
Yeah, I know.
That's exactly right.
Giving yourself away, volunteering for something is how I made it into a second career over at Cal State Long Beach, and then volunteering to give myself away is how I got trapped. I mean, how I got over here at Cal Beach.
Yeah, the irony is we all start out as interns,
Isn't it funny?
and we all end up as unpaid interns.
Sure.
But you went from one station to another, and you wrangled your way onto the air.
Yes, I believe I was working on the weekly top 40, the Rick Dees weekly
Right.
top 40. That was my first gig with Danny.
Cool.
And then over at Kiss FM right down the street, Jack Silver was a program director,
right.
and he wanted me to just interview everyone that comes through here because Rick's going to be golfing. So I did that, and I just learned, and it just turned into 10 years at Kiss FM, and I did end up going from intern to on air
Right.
without having to go to Kentucky or Yuba City, you know. So
Barstow.
All those remotes we used
Yeah.
to do. Oh God! But that's great. And then how did that? Because I wasn't around when it transitioned for you over to KLSX.
yeah, that was in 1997.
Whoa!
Jack, so 87, 97 at Kiss FM with Rick Dees.
Right.
Then at 97, Jack took on the program director position of KLSX 97.1, the FM talk station, the Howard Stern station.
Right.
And he's like, Leo, are you still doing those interviews on the weekends with Tom Hanks, Mel Gibson, and the like? I said, yeah. He goes, okay, I want you to bring that tape over here, and we're going to give you a 2-hour show on the weekends called the Film Freak Movie Talk Show.
Oh,
and
what happened? Oh,
I just kind of looped into that, and then I just did like 12 years on the air at KLSX every Saturday night, and it was like my hobby, my radio hobby. I was getting a little bit of paid, but you know what? I learned from Rick Dees the art of live reads.
yeah.
Because that's advertising. That's when people pay a lot of money, like Diet Coke or whatever. But I remember this one live read that Rick did for Barilla Pasta. I had no idea what Barilla Pasta was. No idea. And he's on there saying Barilla Pasta. You know, it's perfect. It's al dente. As a matter of fact, I'm rubbing some on my thigh.
That's so Dees.
And a light bulb went off. He's using comedy for selling, and then I used that with my career.
Oh, that's great. And so, how did that? So you were sort of shoved into being a movie critic. That wasn't something that you were like passionate about before that time.
You know, I'm a movie. You know what? I'm a movie lover. I'm not a movie critic. And you know what? 1984, I was watching the movie critics on TV, Siskel and Ebert, and they were trashing a comedy called Johnny Dangerously with Michael Keaton, and I thought it was just a funny movie. And then they were saying, you know, this is nothing like a gangster film, and I'm like, why do these two guys get to speak for a whole generation?
Yeah.
And then when the opportunity came up at Kiss FM, Tim Allen was in studio doing a interview for the Santa Claus. The people at Disney said, why don't you come to our press junket this weekend? And I'm like, what's a press junket?
You backed into it.
And then, yeah, I just kind of got into it right there. And
That's great.
Fun.
Yeah. And that's what it really was about, because we had no idea at the time that we were working at KISS that was going to become a major show. We just were having a good time, and I think that's what really reflected on the air. You could hear us having a good time.
No, I remember Rick Dees being the giant. I mean, something like 1 million listeners or 2 million listeners.
No, at one point it was 6.7 a morning.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
One morning, and that's in LA County.
Yeah, I was listening.
Yeah.
I
It
remember.
was pretty awesome at the time. And then, of course, something else transitioned, right? And that was it before or after you started your company that you had your medical problems?
Oh, no. Like 2015, I was living, you know, large, as they say, Morongo Casino Resort and Spa, giving cars away 2 or 3 times a week.
No kidding.
At the Grove, I was hosting, and I was making, a very comfortable living, and then I had a stroke.
Oh, no.
And it really sidelined my career, and it just, from my speech pattern, my face was frozen. I had to take over 200 speech therapy lessons or
Sessions?
sessions, and my right arm is about 50%. You know, my hands, my immune system just started attacking itself, and you know what? you know what? All that being said, I had a blood disease, and that blood disease led to 30 days in the hospital. And I have to thank 330 people I do not know because I had transfusions of platelets. 330 platelets I went through in a month.
Wow.
So a shout out to those people. So I told myself, once I get out of this bed, I will never complain again, number one. And number two, I'm just happy to be alive. Wow. And then I remember those vans just being so rickety in Hollywood. I said, you know what? I could do that. I can sit down and I can hold up a microphone and I can talk for 2 hours and talk for 13 people, just like my radio show.
Right. So that's when you saw the movie tour vans, is what you're talking about.
Right.
And started your own version of that?
Yeah.
The Film Freak tour right here.
It's the movie locations tour. I mean, most tours are like Beverly Hills or they're like the celebrity homes. No, we're 100% movie locations. So we take you to where they filmed Back to the Future.
Right. It's great.
I Love Lucy, Rocket Man, you name it. And we have a TV in the back, and that's pretty unique for Hollywood Boulevard. And we have sound bars in every row.
Yeah, it's great.
It is. What about your perspective?
I loved it because what I hadn't seen before, I've seen movies, whatever, but as you pass the actual location on the screen in front of you in the van, you'll see the cut from the movie.
Perfect.
Right? So you see, oh yeah, that's awesome. It's a really great, it's a different perspective for sure. Fun. It's a lot of fun. And you throw a lot of stories in about your own Hollywood days and radio stuff in there. And I just had a great time. It's really a lot of fun. And I remember we did it with a couple of former coworkers. And had a blast. Leo's former coworkers and mine, and we really had a blast. I recommend it. Mike, we showed him the flyer on the way in today, and you said,
"Yeah, my family. That's something they would really love to do."
Yeah,
probably.
and I've always wanted to do a live show from a strange location. This would be certainly very strange.
Yeah. Well, for all KLBP listeners, if you get through, you know what? We've got tickets for you to come on down to Hollywood and kind of experience the magic of Hollywood. So there you have it.
I'll tell you what, if you show him your KLBP app on your phone, right, it'll get you absolutely nothing.
What a deal.
I think it'd be great. But I think it's wonderful that it's sort of a story of you just kept going. Right? And most people would probably stop having had that career. Hey, you know, I can look back on my laurels, but you didn't. And that's an amazing story for me because it sort of speaks to, you know, I was diagnosed in 92 with HIV. And at that time they said, you're going to die in 5 years, get everything in order. Here I am.
Wow.
And all the physicians that made those predictions, they're dead. Not me.
Of course.
It's the way it goes. But it's one of those things where you just set your sights and you keep going. That's what I did.
Yeah.
The first thing I said when the doctor told me was, no, that's not going to happen. I'm probably going to die in a motel somewhere some night after a raunchy evening. But it's not going to be this way.
You and I have the same doctor.
And then it was like, you get going. And I look back all the time when I think of, where would I be if I'd stopped then? Right? Where would I be right now?
Right.
And I'm just so blessed in a sense. And I'm blessed to be surrounded by another group of fantastic radio people. I think we're the last 4 in the entire world that actually come into a radio station. Everybody else phones it in.
And I just got here.
But it's what we do over here. It's this tradition, right? Yeah. Radio is an art. And being able to do it and have a good time with it is an art. And every once in a while you luck out with a great crew. And I've been blessed with that several times over. And every time it takes a different iteration, right? So like I was telling you yesterday, I'm usually the funny guy. I had to sit back and let her be funny because she's funnier than I am.
And not just looking.
And it's just one of those things where just listening to people, you know, it lets it come out. And we do this all the time. You know, we just love to talk about whatever's going on in the world. And we want to make another pitch. How do people find you, first of all?
Well, you can go to filmfreak.com. That's kind of the easiest way. You can book your tickets right there. See, I have a little bit of a slur. I'm about 90, maybe 85% of what I was before the stroke. So I really have to make a cognizant effort to just enunciate and say everything perfect. So please excuse me, filmfreak.com. You can book your tickets, and you can also check out our socials at Film Freak Tours.
Yeah, that's
sweet.
Great. Yeah, really, absolutely.
Sweet.
And you're going to meet a great guy because you're going to be on, right? So are you on most of them, all of them? Do you have any other employees that work with you?
It's a very small company. We have literally one driver who's on vacation, so we're not going out this week. We have one tour this week.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, we're taking out a guy from Guy Fieri's chicken restaurant.
No kidding.
It's called Chicken Guy.
Oh, wow.
And he's on Hollywood Boulevard, and he wanted to go, and
that's
he's
great.
going to bring his kids. But that's the easiest way, always.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, will you stick around for a little bit?
Hell yeah.
Okay, good. Because normally right now we take a little break for some music. And Mike, this is great. I love this song you picked for us today.
Kind of matches the
Yeah,
theme
it
of
does.
our guest.
couldn't believe how
This is the Sammy Hagar version of Van Halen and a song called Dreams.
Of course, with Magic of Radio, we insert it later. And it's a great song. It's really good.
That's my favorite,
It's really great.
Sammy Hagar song with Van Halen. In fact, so much so, we have named our dog Sammy Hagar.
Are you serious?
So-
It's awesome. That's the film freak Lou Quinones with us here on Mornings on the Beach. I'm Danny
I'm Mike.
I'm Melanie.
over there. And getting to the things we normally talk about, right? Some of the stuff that goes on in the world, you know it. You look at it every day, and we pick our favorites. And Melanie's picked one this morning because she wants to go to Harvard.
Yes.
So we
Well, I'm already attending. Thank you very much.
Oh, wow.
No, you know this conflict that Trump is having with Harvard.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because when I Googled Trump versus, there's like 200 things that come up because it's everybody. He versus everybody. But Harvard, trying to not allow foreign students, trying to take their tax exempt status, yada, yada, yada. So they are giving classes free online. For Harvard.
Really?
Yeah. So,
And you were going there to spite Trump.
yeah.
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 So-
because it's the it's being getting educated is resistance,
Absolutely.
right? So there are courses, a lot of programming courses, a lot of government courses, and the one I signed up for is a leadership seminar that's a
Good for you.
35-minute thing, and there's lots of stuff there.
So Harvard EDU is where you find it?
I just Googled free Harvard classes,
Wow.
and boom, and a list shows up.
That is amazing.
And a lot.
I thought you were just kidding.
No,
No,
don't
this
I look up at Harvard?
great.
Hello, don't you see the hat?
I'm loving this. And because the first step in trying to control a population is first to make them dumber.
Right.
And so let's step in and make sure that we don't have anybody doing anything that would be woke.
Well, and there's
or
government
intelligent.
classes. There's government classes, Constitution. So they obviously picked. It's like leadership, programming, and a lot of government type classes. So they're obviously picking the information they want to get out there.
Is there civic government classes being offered? Because if so, can we sign up the Trump administration one by one?
No, they're busy.
Is there a hacker out there who can
They're
handle that?
busy. Did you read about the new lawn guy that's in charge of terrorism now? He's 22 years old.
No. What?
Yes, he was Trump's lawn
Gardener.
gardener.
Yeah.
Are you in charge of what?
Oh, just national security. I don't know why you're worried.
Oh my gosh.
Don't panic.
Just weeding out terrorists. Wah, wah.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
yeah.
22.
I'm gonna have another stroke.
I know. Well, we don't have any doctors left, so don't.
Yeah, really. What the heck? So what would this guy know?
Trump. He knows Trump.
Maybe weeding out suspicious plants.
Ba-dum, boom.
But that's it, right? That's
Yeah.
amazing to me.
Yeah.
But then again, the Department of Education finally copped to the fact that they fired a lot of important people last month. Although we find out about it 2 or 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
And of course, then there's the having to rename the ship named after Harvey Milk. That's our wonderful.
The pettiness is legendary.
But what does that say during Pride Month? That's a statement.
Peak Hegseth. That's just.
it is a
Why?
statement.
It's a statement, and it's just. It's not a good one. It's not going to be on the right side of history.
Yeah, I just can't imagine why that's important.
It may not be on the right side of the boat, knowing these people.
I'm sorry, but our president certainly has certain fascination with what's between people's legs.
Oh, my God. Get
given
over
what he's
it.
doing with California and this transgender athlete, I mean, there are like 14 in the country, transgender athletes, and yet a major amount of his time is being spent on punishing us,
Right.
Because we will let them play, and of course, this is the best part: the articles that come out saying when we talk to the other athletes, they could care less.
Right.
It's a fair shot. Really, you know what I mean? Why do they think that because a man is going to beat out a woman? To me, right there, that's sexist. Who says that a woman can't beat a man?
Right.
In any competition, and it's fair game. But then again, it's all about what's between your legs, and they care far too much about that. So.
Well, and they're just so scared, and that's the gag too. That's the gaslighting of it is that we're the bleeding heart liberals, snowflakes, and they're like, no, you can't have his. I don't even want to see his name on the side of a ship. They did the same thing
really?
with who was the Senator McCain.
Please.
Right? He covered McCain's name on the side of a ship during the first one.
Once again, just for the sake of being a jerk. But I'll tell you one thing. If there is someone listening today that has worked at Fox News, perhaps as an intern, and you have a photograph on your phone of Pete Hegseth getting a blowjob from somebody in the bathroom.
Now's the time.
Now's the time to make sure. And if it isn't, use some AI and make sure it's a transgender person.
We could, if we wait long enough, he'll text one to us anyway.
You're probably right.
I wasn't expecting this.
Oh my God, this is just too much. I'm sorry, this is too much. But now, the most bizarre idea in naming things. The headline on this story is House Republican wants Americans to get aboard this bizarre Trump idea. Now, what would that idea be? Because out of so many.
You have to narrow it down.
Yeah,
Crazy big.
Okay, well, it is regarding naming the transit system in Washington, the Washington Metropolitan Authority for Greater Access, WMAGA.
Oh, brother.
Oh,
This is something he proposed in a bill, and the president loves the idea because he wants people to be ferried in a MAGA train, or called a Trump train, for the agency to receive their funding. They must rename the system.
Wow.
Yeah, come on.
and thank God we got rid of DEI, right? I mean, this is just
Thank God this is so
painful.
important as
It's
opposed to other
painful.
people. How homelessness.
Yeah.
And there's a wonderful article that came out this week. We always talk about how can we solve homelessness.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the executive director of the Center for Homelessness has come out with a book in which she proposes several steps. And what she says is the reason we have homelessness is not a choice that they made. It's a choice that we as a society made years and years and years and years ago.
Wow.
And she says we could unwind this with choices to do the opposite. And there's some other suggestions she makes that are really well done. But she said this is not going to be cured in one generation.
Well, it's the byproduct of capitalism.
We got to get started, she
Right.
says, and we can do it, but we won't, because it'll take all of us to say the same thing at the same time. And right now, half the country saying one thing, and half the other country saying something
and even,
else.
Even the part of the country that wants to find housing for these people doesn't want it in their neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's decisions like that to be made.
We ask that question on the show all the time. Why can't people get into these housing programs? And I talked to a gentleman who works with the services here in Long Beach. In the dog park we met, and I said, oh, since you do that, answer the question for me. Why are so many people can't get into this programs? He goes, you got to tell me something when they show up and we can't ID them. We can't get them any services. So some people don't even remember, they don't have a wallet. They haven't lived anywhere for a while.
Right.
That's 30% of the people that show
Wow.
up. So I said, wow, right there, if you could have a program that could help identify these people, then you're already moving in the right direction.
Well, then
Because
you
it's
think about
absolutely-
throwing all their belongings out. How often they sweep, and what documentation are they throwing out?
And of course,
that
all the
these-
policing
that they need?
policies prove it doesn't work.
Right.
It doesn't cure homelessness in any way. It just moves it around from place to place.
My dad was homeless for some time, and I took him to the multi-service center and sat with him for 5 hours and did the intake. I had his documentation, and there are services there, but he was mentally ill, and he needed someone to do
to help.
just what
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did, and he had me. So there are services there, but it's hard for people to access. And then once he got in, he got excellent service and mental health care, and then they found HUD subsidized housing for him and blah 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 blah. But I had to drag him through it, and a lot of people at that point have burned bridges.
Exactly. And it's so hard just to do what you did.
Yeah.
And he had help.
Right.
There we go.
And these are billionaires making these decisions that decimate the lower class or lower
Middle
income
class,
people.
yeah.
I mean, it is just wrong on every level.
Absolutely. I've reached out to Maria Foscarinis, who is the executive founding director of the Center for Homelessness, and asked her if she would be on our show
great.
to talk about it, because I think that we always want to say, well, how can we solve this? Let's start down that road.
Right.
And to have this show up, this is a piece of good news this week. Her book is called And Housing for All, The Fight to End Homelessness in America. Maria Foscarini, and I'm
Well,
gonna
the
ask her
way,
to be
and
on the
they'll
show.
tell you the way to combat it is not to let them out there. Once they're out there, it's a whole different process than saving them from leaving their homes.
Precisely. So we got to go way back.
We got to go back and keep them from getting out on the streets because
Exactly.
and people want to judge them like, oh, there's a bunch of drug addicts. Listen, I get a drink when I get home from work, and I have a roof over my head.
Right.
So you're going to take someone who's living on the street and shame them for doing drugs? I'd be high all the time if I had to be out there.
Well, you might think you are high all the time when you hear this next story.
Nice segue.
Which
and the
is-
segue award goes to.
I have a hard time in my house when I change the trash bags because I pick up the lavender scented trash bags. Right? And I think, oh God, that's just smell. I don't like the smell of that artificial lavender, whatever, wafting through the house. However, that can change now that Hefty has released birthday cake scented trash bags.
Oh boy.
This is supposedly to capitalize on the trend of scented products that are scented like birthday cakes, and so it's become a flavor thing. So pumpkin spice, now you're going to have your coffee as a birthday cake flavor. But Hefty said in order to celebrate our 60th anniversary as a company, we're going to release these bags scented like birthday cake. I want to try it.
Great.
And it's $2. No, sorry, 60 cents on their website. If you go, there's a limited amount, so they're probably already gone. But 60 cents for a 20-count box of birthday cake scented trash bags.
You don't like lavender? Buy unscented.
A pretty simple solution, isn't
Pretty
it?
much.
No, they
Yeah.
made
I didn't even know there were lavender
Trust
trash
me,
bags.
didn't
the
either.
opposite happened to me. I always pick up the ones that there they are. I grab them. I don't even read the box, and then I think somebody said to me, "You could buy the ones that are unscented." And I go, "They're probably next to it, and I didn't even see them." And
and
my
they
God!
probably cost less.
But now I have to try birthday cake scented trash.
you don't have to.
Well,
It's not required.
you don't know me well.
You don't really have to.
That's one of those things. But we talked about earlier, we mentioned baggage fees. This scene lately at the airports, have you seen it? Has anybody flown recently since they started
Yeah.
charging for every little thing?
Yeah, and I'm about, as you know, to go fly nonstop to Barcelona on one of those type airlines where they literally charge you for everything. You can't. I mean, you pay for the ticket, and the thing is they gaslight you with, well, your ticket is only
Right.
$200, but by the time you add on everything, you're back up to the regular
Well,
price.
now they charge you for the ticket and the seat separately, which is ridiculous.
Well, to pick the seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's another fee. I always think
Right.
of that old Carol Burnett. There was an old Carol Burnett shtick where there was economy class and first class in the airplane. And it was Tim Conway in the back, and only he got turbulence, right? He was sitting on a folding chair,
So the amount of money they make, right? How much do you think they made this last year in checked fees, extra seats, choosing, whatever?
One airline or all the airlines?
All of them together.
Oh, jeez.
How's $7.1 billion?
Whoa.
Not surprising.
That's in addition to the money they made from getting your ticket. So, and it's slated to go up to $8 billion, 8 point something
I want
this
to know
next
what's
year.
their peanut budget,
Yeah.
because I don't think like we're getting our money's worth.
But it's like I guess if I was a stockholder for an airline, I'd think this is great.
Absolutely.
But still, for God's sakes, I mean, would you like to travel on a plane with wheels or non-wheels? Yeah. What is next?
Well, this discussion came up because Southwest, who was one of the last airlines to give you free baggage, they're going to start charging.
They
Oh,
already
really?
did. Yep.
And Alaska Airlines, which also had the free one.
Yeah, and thank you, EasyJet. They started the whole thing with these discount airlines, and started since the year 2000 is when it all started changing, and now it's something we expect. But to say that they're going to make over the next year $47 billion in profit, that's in profit. That's not in addition to what they paid
Right.
for expenses. That's what they made, and so they're hurting so badly that you may want to check a bag and help them out.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
$200 I've heard is some fees for a regular size suitcase.
Wow.
And now we're gonna have to pad ourselves, like wear all our clothes,
Or go naked.
right? Yeah, go naked or wear all your clothes.
I think somebody
those
ought
are
to do
your
that as a
only
protest.
options.
Yeah, because now she's actually kind of correct. Because EasyJet, which started the whole thing, Ryanair, they charge you now. It's free if you want to put the bag under the seat in front of you, but if you want to put it up in the container, it's $6. to put it up there. $6 or $7 to put it up. That's here we go.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, they're going to say, if you want to hold on to your bag, that's $2.
Right. If you want to drag it behind the plane,
So where
that's only $1.
Somebody got fined for doing that, for wearing all their clothes on an airplane.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, they put on all their clothes, one over the other, and they were just like waddling down the aisle. And of course, they got fined by the airline for some reason. Overweight, who knows?
Right.
But wild, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's next? What are they going to charge you for next? A straw?
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you go out, or napkins. That'll be the next thing. Would you like napkins?
Well, now that we have a 22-year-old running Homeland Security or
there you
whatever,
go.
who knows what people will be walking onto planes now.
Yeah, there you go.
In addition to all their clothes.
Well, maybe garden tools, and he'll be able to solve it.
What a mess.
Yeah, it's all. Just hang in there. It'll be over.
Just hang in there.
It'll be over soon. However, the show's not going to be over. We have another guest coming in our studio, a young songstress. You may have heard her already on our air, and the song "Showtime" that we're playing on KLVP.
Yeah, I love that song.
And Paige Williams is her name. She's going to be with us here next. But in the meantime, let's give a little song, some music.
This is brand new music from a great combo. I don't think they've ever played together before, but Taj Mahal and Keb Mo have a new album out, and this is a cut called Thicker Than Mud.
It's your Sunday morning show, Mornings on the Beach on KLBP. I'm Danny Lemos.
I'm Mike Stark.
I'm Melanie Ray.
And in studio with us, as I mentioned before, we have a very special guest. Welcome, Paige Williams. Welcome.
Hello, hi.
Now, I know that you call your music PGE.
I do.
Is that how we should refer to you?
Paige.
Paige is fine?
It's literally Paige without 2 letters.
Pull
Just
that. Yeah, there we go.
2 letters less than my actual name. But yeah, just Paige.
First of all, I love your music.
Thank you so much.
She reached out because she wanted to bring Chad over here, and I said, "Well, he's been here enough.
I'm enough already.
You come and talk to us." And then she told me that you were the vocalist on Showtime, which we play a lot here at KLBP.
I've noticed, yeah.
So it's great. And then you sent me a link to your music, and I enjoyed it so much. It's all your stuff.
It's
right?
all mine, yeah.
It's amazing.
The last 2 songs, actually, I wrote everything. So
No
the
kidding.
music and everything, yeah.
Well, that's great. How did you begin?
I started playing instruments in 4th grade. My first instrument was cello. And then I expanded.
As most 4-year-olds would.
I mean, I don't know. Well, because my parents wouldn't let me play violin because they didn't want to hear me practice that, which is fair.
Oh, wow.
Like, it's pretty screechy. Right,
So
exactly.
it was.
Right, so cello was a little bit more chill, so I got to do that.
Really? Oh, wow.
And then I got into choir and started singing. And then once I got my degree in vocal performance,
Wow,
so I
so
sang
you knew.
opera for 4 years.
No.
And then
Wow.
now I play piano and guitar and ukulele and cello. So
Amazing. Did you start in Long Beach?
I didn't. I'm actually from Atlanta.
No
But I
way.
moved to California in 2017.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was after school?
After school, after I graduated. I graduated college a year early, actually, 2013.
Because you knew you could come out here and be a star.
Well, I've always wanted to be here.
Really?
I've been so attracted to like the beach lifestyle that I've just wanted to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's part of our show name.
I know.
Yeah, we like it.
I love it.
But that is really wild because I always think you have to sort of know where you want to go when you start. And I like to hear the stories of people who knew that early in life. Like,
Yeah.
I want to do this. This is what I'm going to go do. And now you're releasing your own music.
I am.
But it probably wasn't all an easy journey.
No, absolutely
Where
not.
were some of the things you had to overcome?
I think the biggest thing I had to overcome was trying to create what I wanted to create with a minimal budget.
Oh.
Because it's like I know what I want it to sound like, but I know how much that's going to cost. So I had to figure out, okay, well, I want this guitar part. I started to learn guitar. I flipped my cello around.
No
I was like,
kidding.
well, I'm watching John Mayer. I was obsessed with John Mayer when I was younger. I still kind of am. But I flipped it around and I was like, you know what? I could probably do this. And then my brother had like a first act electric in his room. And I was like, I'm going to try this. So then I started playing guitar because I didn't have friends who could. So I was like, okay, well, I need to accompany myself. Started that. And then I did the same thing with piano. And I used to do this thing before I moved out here where I would play a full song and play 3 instruments. So I'd like play guitar and sing, start the beat on a keyboard,
Wow.
put the guitar down, and then start
Wow, that's
playing.
amazing.
But now I'm here and I have a band, so it's awesome.
That is so great.
I don't have to do all that.
When my first thought was you had to do it all yourself, I thought, oh, she's going to go to a software program and learn a keyboard and make all the sounds. But that's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You found your own way to do that?
Yeah, I just wanted to learn the instruments.
Yeah, wow,
first.
that's amazing. And so what inspires you to write? Like, what do you want to write about? Is it a joy? Is it about life experiences? Is it about, most people write easily about sadness,
Yeah.
right? Heartbreak is always a good way to motivate a song.
You're right. I feel like anything that moves me, I want to write about it. So I actually have another song coming out in maybe like a couple months, and that is inspired by a friend's relationship. So I really just write with whatever moves me, I'm going to write about it. It doesn't really mean, okay, it's happy, I want to write that because it's happy. But sometimes when summer comes along, I do want to write like a feel-good song just for summer. But when I keep that in my head, I think the people I think of the most are my parents. Like, how would my parents feel about this song? Like, can I see them vibing in their car to this song? Like, they're just my biggest supporters, so I kind of write for them sometimes
that's wild.
too.
Wow.
So, and you managed to connect with one of our other musicians here, Chad.
Chad, yeah.
So give us the tea on Chad.
So,
Yeah, we want the dirt.
oh my God, the dirt on Chad. Oh,
He's such a great guy.
Unfortunately, I don't think there is
There's
any.
no dirt.
He's such a great guy.
He's awesome. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually met him there was like a cider place downtown Long Beach that closed down.
Ficklewood.
Oh, is that really?
Yes,
Oh,
that's where I
wild.
met him. So like I had just moved to Long Beach in 2020 and he was doing a show and I heard his voice and I was just like, whoa, who's this?
Yeah.
Because he sounds like it's timeless. His voice is timeless. And I just walked up to him. I'm like, who are you? What's your name? Like, can I get your connections? And like, I need to get your Instagram. And then like he reached out to me. He's like, oh, come play this show. I was like, okay, I'll come play a show. And I show up and I like play a few songs and we're cool. And then he reached out again. He was like, we should write something.
Oh, wow.
I went over to his house. The first song we wrote was Showtime.
Right. Really?
Yep.
Wow.
That was the first song.
What
and then
a
we've
great
been friends
song.
ever since.
You know, it was funny. Yesterday, I was talking to him because you can't throw a rock without hitting Chad. Somebody would say,
He's
right?
everywhere. Yeah.
And he told me that you told him that he'd made a little money on Apple Tunes with some of the music that he uploaded, and one of the songs he and I wrote together.
Ah.
So he gave me 37 cents, and I am now a professional songwriter.
There you go.
So
You
thank
know?
you.
This
Thank
is
you
the
for
business.
launching. Yes.
I
Well,
love
you're
it.
teaching him, and he's teaching me.
Oh my gosh. This is why we're all broke. But
I have a question because I have a show that we feature a lot of times indie artists. And most of the people that have been on my show over the last few years have no desire to ever go with a major record label because they feel their independence is more important than what the record company can give them. What is your stance on that? Would you take a label deal?
absolutely. I'm broke. Yes. They give in advance. I want the money. Yes.
Right.
Let's be clear.
Who
I
would
got you.
pass that down?
I got you.
I'm sorry. Could you clarify that?
Yeah, I don't think you're clear about that.
Right. No, what's funny is like right now I'm managing a band like in LA, so I know the inner workings of the background stuff, and it's just like I understand how record labels work, and I get why you want to be independent, but if you don't have that financial backing
Right.
already, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So like I'll take the money, I'll take the connections, like why not?
And I know nothing about the music industry except for one thing, which is you got to make your music while you're young so that when you're older, you could sell off your catalog.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. And then have generational money.
Everybody seems to be doing that these days, you know, in preparation, I
So
guess.
have you had any bites from labels?
I haven't. I just started reaching out though, because
Okay.
I feel like I'm now falling into a sound that feels really genuine to me. So now I can really market that because
Cool.
it seems like something that only I can do, and I didn't want to reach out prematurely without having that branding. So now I
Right.
feel like I can do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So between your first release and this one, what differences are there? Is it something that you feel more comfortable with, or?
It feels more like me because with my first release, I feel like I was taking tracks from producers and then putting my spin on it. And with this music that I'm putting out now, this is me from the ground up. It feels very,
Sweet.
very genuine, and which makes me more excited to get it out because I'm just like, I made this. This is my baby.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Well, we got to
People feel that genuineness too when they
I
receive
hope so.
it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
that
I agree.
comes through.
Yeah, and I think we just got to get you on a stage,
Yeah.
and then invite some talent scouts out.
Absolutely.
Really, seriously. I mean, if they just saw you once,
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
and we've got some things coming up during the summer. Maybe we can reach out
Yeah.
to you and whatever band you can put together.
Oh, I have a band. Let's do it.
Oh, that's great.
We're ready.
Right. Are they waiting outside?
No. They're ready.
We got
though.
time for some music.
Yeah,
In
they're
fact,
ready.
let's do play a song of yours. Is it something? Which one would you like us to feature?
You're already playing Aliens, Ann, so let's do Low Key.
Okay. Before we do that, though, let's find out where people can find you. Website, where can they find your music?
All of my socials are under at I am PGE. So IAMPGE, and my website is pgemusic.com, and that has everything you need to know.
That's great.
Sweet.
And go ahead and introduce the song yourself.
This next song is called Low Key, and it is one of my newest singles that are out on all streaming platforms, and I hope you like it.
That's Low Key by Paige Williams. And like she said, you can find her tracks on Spotify. Paige, will look for PGE Music right there. This morning's on the beach, right here with Danny Lemos.
And Mike Stark.
Melanie Ray.
And in studio guest with us.
Leo Quinones, the film freak.
Thanks for sticking around for the whole
I
show.
love it. Thanks for having me.
And before we go, we'll talk a little bit about what's going on in this weekend, next weekend as well. This past week, however, we visited the shoreline development plan that they had out in front of the aquarium. They were showing the redevelopment plan for the community input.
Oh, wow.
So there's a couple of things I liked. The redevelopment of the area. A couple of things I didn't like who needs another hotel? Right there on the at Shoreline at the Fisherman's Village. We don't need a hotel there. So that one, but you can comment. And this is going to be going on all month long. So if you're out around the aquarium or anywhere else in Long Beach and you see this big billboards and displays of graphics and all these artworks, go ahead, take a peek and weigh in. They want to hear from you. It's important for them. And this weekend, if you've been out anywhere in Long Beach, you'll see the massive stage for Kelly Vibes. It's enormous. The people standing on the stage putting it together, they look like ants. It's so enormous.
Wow.
And so it's going to be a huge festival this Saturday, Sunday. And of course, it's probably going on as you know about it because you can hear it probably all over Long Beach. We're going to go watch from a very special viewing area, which I will not disclose, because we found it during the last concert, the cowboy concert they had there. We found a spot where we could watch the big screens and not have to pay to go in. Bring our food and sit out there and watch. And we're going to do the same thing with Kelly Vibes.
Great.
Yeah, it'd be great. And if you have a boat at the marina, well, guess what? You have a front row seat. So that's coming up. That's this weekend in Long Beach, and I think there's anything else going on that it's sold out. So, but like I said, if you come down to Shoreline, you're bound to hear it, and it'll be happening downtown. And then next weekend, right here, we're gonna have an open house at KLBP on Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're just gonna leave the doors open and see who wanders in.
Cool.
And
We may regret
yeah,
that.
in downtown Long Beach, that could be dangerous.
But a lot of people expressed their interest in coming down and seeing it, so we figured on a Saturday, let's open the doors and see who wants to come in. We have a couple of people that are expressing interest in joining our staff, and you can. We're literally, we'll take anybody.
Join us.
Yes,
Yeah, really.
please.
We need some help.
Don't expect any money.
Yeah, but you can springboard on your career by using it on your
Absolutely.
resume. Right?
Absolutely.
And we got a lot of things to do here, so put it on your resume that you work here, and we won't care.
Yeah.
We could use all the help we can get. That's what my point is.
Right.
So, and then of course, if this is Sunday morning, you're going to be hearing.
Yeah, well, this I'm gonna do a little bit of a preview of several shows I got coming up. We
Okay.
got this weekend. We got the replay of the Stuart Frankie tribute, the Detroit musician, singer songwriter that we recently lost. That is just an amazing singer. So we did a tribute to him on LA Radio Sessions. Next week we're going to do a summer surf special featuring interviews and music from Jan and Dean, the Ventures, the Safaris, and many more. And then Bill Ward of Black Sabbath returns on June 29th.
It's so awesome. Right here on KLBP, we're going to have them. So that's awesome. It's all happening, and it starts at what time?
10 o'clock on Sundays.
Right. Well, that's another show in the books for us. Thank you, everybody that attended here today. It was a busy day, and it's kind of warm in here. But on our way out, we're going to hear a song from...
Yeah, this is an interesting thing. John Fogerty, who was in Creedence Clearwater Revival, has made a new album, and he's remade a bunch of Creedence Clearwater songs note for note like the original. And you will hear that in this song, and he's doing it like Taylor did.
Right.
He's calling it John's version.
Oh, that's awesome. And we'll talk to you next weekend. This is Danny Lemos.
Mike Stark.
Melanie Ray.
This is Have You Ever Seen the Rain?
All right.